Hello. I've had numerous people ask me about how I three box my way through some of the NOS missions. So here is when one door closes and how I get the achievements for it. Doing it this method, well, first of all, the first two achievements, which are brutal efficiency, which means that you kill the boss fast enough that you force it to change forms rather than it changing forms on its own. I suppose if you just have a tank stand there and let it get beat on for a while and continue to heal it without doing any damage, or heal the tank rather, um, I guess that it'll change on its own and you fail that achievement. I've never seen that achievement not be a success, so I can't say that for sure. Um, the second achievement is hiding in plain sight, which is where you kill the whirling debris that will spawn during it prior to killing the boss mob. The whirling debris can be baned with a corruption cure spell, so I mean, it stays up for a second or so after the corruption cure, so it might get a hit or two on people with that, but basically it just gets blipped out very quickly, so it's not a problem at all. And then the tough one is no poke, where the first one will be on the beetle form. Later, it holds multiple effects on the forms as it changes, but there'll be an aura under one of the characters, whether it's a mercenary or a player. Everybody has to move out of that aura, though mercenaries can stay in it. They don't affect it, nor do pets. Everybody has to get out of the aura. If you're still in the aura after a couple of seconds, you take some damage, and you fail the achieve. You get everybody out of the aura eventually fades away, and you are still okay for the cheese as long as you haven't gotten caught in it before the end of the mission. So to do this mission, and most of the time when I'm boxing, here's my group makeup. Let me move it a little closer. I've got Lottalag, level 120 Ranger. He is about 70% raid equipped, though only one or two of those pieces are apparitional. Most of it's your normal raid drop stuff. And then his couple of other pieces are phantasmal, or phantasmal, if I want to pronounce it correctly, which is the NOS crafted top level group gear. He has a level 120 mercenary cleric. He has all of his mercenary AAs done. He also has all of his regular AAs done. And he has vigilant soother gear, so she's as good a mercenary cleric as you can get. I have a level 120 shaman. She is completely raid geared. She's about 70% apparitional. The others are regular raid drop stuff, but she's not quite at 100% good stuff yet. She, of course, has her pet, and she has a tank mercenary. She has all of her AAs complete, both mercenary and regular, and she actually has 3 pieces of Vigilant Defender gear, which is the tank gear, and 1 piece of Vigilant Assassin's gear. Need to go back and do some more farming for that stuff. Last character is a level 120 Shadow Knight. Does not have all his AAs finished, does not have all of his mercenary AAs finished. He has a cleric mercenary. He does have all of his healing and mana, as well as hit points and all that. He has most of his mercenary stuff done, but he doesn't have all of them done. However, the gear he's carrying for mercenary is Extravagant Assassin, which is the melee DPS mercenary gear. So she has somewhat stuff to be desired when it comes to mercenary healers. I need to get him better gear for her as well. Lost my train of thought for a moment. Oh, the mercenary healers are both set on reactive. I've heard people say one should be on the balanced and one should be on reactive for your best healing. My experience, it seems like with them both on reactive works the best. I've never actually parsed it out, so I can't say that with 100% surety that that's true, but that's how it seems to me, so that's how I have them. Okay, so positioning. Positioning is very important, and what I'm doing with the twos is kind of important, so let me get to my normal first-person view, which is what I use. We'll start off with the Shadow Knight. First of all, I'm going to tell him he's the puller. And then I'm going to move him way up there to the tunnel to the north. And you'll see him running by in just a moment. Because he's puller, his mercenary stays with the group. Now he's off all by himself. He will probably never get an aura on him because he probably won't be on the hate list. But even if he does, he's so far from everyone else that there's no way his aura is going to impact anybody but him, and he can just move out of it. I only have to worry about moving him. The shaman will stand just about where I'm standing right now, which gives her the ability to talk to Animus Colin here to start the event. Maybe a little further back, actually, probably more like here. And she'll also be able to heal the mob, or not the mob, heal the stuff fighting the mob, which I will be fighting it right about here, or the mercenary will be fighting it, rather. So I put her in a position, I'm going to go ahead and levitate, makes it easier to see things. I put her in a position where she can both talk to the Animus to start it, as well as do healing and all, plus it keeps her away from everybody else, which is important when you're going for that particular cheese. So we put her in her spot. There she is. She has the Animus now targeted. If she gets an aura, or whether she gets it or not, if she has to move for an aura, as you can see, and it's the same for the Shadow Knight, she's facing to the south, which is away from the mob. When you're away from the mob, you don't have to worry about the stuns from the chicken version of it, which is what causes people to fail this. So she will move. If she has to move, she'll just do this. She'll move south a little bit, and then she'll back up and move back north without ever facing the mob. She will cast, obviously she'll slow it right off the bat. Right off the bat, I'll cast Chaotic Toxin and Xix's Malacenera, which does your Brightfeld's Affliction and Malacenetra for a debuff. Chaotic Toxin does a couple of dots, as well as if after those dots expire, there's a chance of an additional dot following along after them. So those are what she'll cast to begin with. Further on, she's also going to cast some additional dots. She'll do in Lenrel's Curse, Obeah, TG Pandemic, and Desperate Vampire Blood. She may also do the nuke. Or no, that's right, I took the nuke off this spell lineup, so never mind. She will not nuke. She'll do those dots just to add to the DPS. The other thing she'll cast, which has not been cast yet, is Fervent Growth, which is the temporary hit point buff. Gives 37,000 extra hit points to the tank. It decays over time, so at least to start, and I may recast it at some point if I notice it's available during the fight, just to give as many hit points as possible to the tank, because obviously high hit points means you can take more damage, means you're more likely to succeed. The Ranger will start out pretty much right where I'm standing right now, maybe a little further south, right about here. Well, nope, I was in the wrong spot. Right here. Right at the edge of the rocks here. He'll shoot an arrow at the mob. Mob will come running up. Mercenary will engage and probably be about right there where they're fighting. Depending on the direction exactly it's facing, I'm going to head off somewhere over this way. Somewhere maybe on this side of the pillar, maybe on this side of the pillar. I might wind up being due north and facing due south of everything. But basically what I want to make sure I'm doing is I'm nice and far away from where my shaman is. And I'm not going to be able to get her AE heals probably from this distance, which is fine. If I take a little bit of damage, which I shouldn't take much at all, the mercenary will heal me. But the main thing is I want to be away from the rest of the group, so that when the auras hit, generally I need to move 1 toon, or if I need to move 2, I don't need to move them very far. The times I need to move 2 is when it hits one of the mercenaries, like right here, and it might barely touch Gaga, it might barely touch Lodelag. So that's how I do it. At the very end, once the mob gets down to around 11% or so, as it continues to change, it starts holding onto its abilities from prior changes. Problem with that is it winds up getting so it can do both the long-term stun that starts off with the chicken, as well as the aura that comes from the beetle. hits them both at the same time and you happen to be in that aura, there's no chance of getting out of it. You don't have enough time. So at the very end, 90% of the time, and I most likely will do it on this run through, I turn around and the only thing I'll be casting at that point are spells, or doing at that point is spells to add some additional DPS. Won't be shooting arrows at it anymore because I'm faced away, but it's a way of protecting myself from that long-term stun, and that way I can get out of the aura if it does appear, and I just let the dots that are on it, as well as the little bit of damage the DPS that's done by the merc, which is like 150k DPS, finishes it off. So that is my general gist of how I do this. I'll sort of talk through things as I do them to the best of my ability, and I'm going to go ahead and start this thing. Alright, there's the mob. Shoot an arrow. Engaging with the merc, the shaman's pet, and hitting those two dots I talked about. Ranger's now moving to the side. Because it's facing due south, I am going to go ahead and just move directly to its side. The shaman is casting Spirit of Renewal, heal over time. I also do quite a bit with Range Recourse, which is a sort of a heal over time. It does a bigger heal, like once every 30 seconds. In waves of healing is kind of the way I think that they write it. And yeah. Oh, I forgot to do the Fervent Growth. I'm doing that now on the Banshee Defender. So now it has some extra hit points. There's the chicken. I am currently stunned on Lottalag, so if I had an aura right now, we'd be screwed. Now that this chicken's down, now I can burn. Or not down, but now that the chicken's stun is down. So now I'm hitting Pure Shot Discipline. I'm hitting my Group Guardian of the Forest for now. I'm hitting all of those dots from the Shaman. They give a spot heal on the Mercenary there. Refresh my AE heals, or my group heals rather. I'm going to hit Swarm of Bloodflies, which is a dot. Huh. Normally there's an aura with this guy. Oh, there it is. Someone's in an aura. Gaga is. I'm moving Gaga out of it. Apparently my Gina trigger didn't go off. Unusual, but fortunately I saw it. I got everybody out of it. Moving her back into her normal position. Back to fighting. The first whirling debris has just shown up. Gaga has it targeted but cannot cast on it quite yet. And she's just going to be sitting there trying to do Cure Corruption until it goes off. There, it went off. She's getting hit. But there we go, it's dead. Oh, shit. I forgot to put... I normally will put the Ranger on main assist to help prevent the Mercenary from doing what he did. He went after that whirling debris, which caused him to move, which I don't want. I don't like where he is now. But I can still get through this. Okay, my Ginas are not working. Getting everybody out of the aura. There we go. We're out of the aura. Just waiting for it to go back down. Aura down. Getting back closer so I can use all of my DPS stuff. Backing the Shaman back up. Refreshing those dots on it because they're basically all down now. While continuing to do... Oh, got another aura. This time it's on one of the mercenaries. Getting a lot of lag out of it. Gaga's out of it. It's down. Moving back into normal position. And that's kind of how this fight goes. You just get the hell out of the aura and then go back to where you were. Should wind up with another debris here shortly, as I'm still trying to get the dots back on this damn thing. I do get little short stuns, like I just got one from that tentacle terror looking thing. but those only last for a moment. There we go. The next whirling debris is up. Casting Cure Corruption. There it goes. Now it's cast. This time we should be good. It went after the Banished Offender initially, so it can take a good beating. Oh. And we also got the chicken up, which I suppose I wasn't quite facing at it enough with a lot of lag because I didn't see him get actually stunned by it. A lot of lag's dots are now on. Goggles are nice and fresh. Alright, so now I'm at the point where I'm going to turn around with a lot of lag. No more damage with his spells, or with his, oh, that's why I'm not hearing Gina. Gina's not turned on. No more damage with his, bow, other than because of spells. But I don't get frozen. There we go. The aura's up. Can't see what's going on with the aura right now, but I'm doing a little healing, doing a little casting, and he's at 2%, so I mean, he'll be dead momentarily, so I'm just gonna stay where I am, hold what I've got, and let the merc finish him off. And he's dead. There we go, we got all the achievements. The actual fight itself, like I did quite a bit of talking there at the beginning, so the actual fight itself doesn't take very long, especially when I'm not trying to do a video. But because I am trying to do a video, it takes a little longer. And plus I was explaining some things. I'm going to keep it on the video here for just a moment so you see all the cheeses come up. Let me put these mercenaries out. I'm going to do a little swapping out of tunes because of wanting to get the coins and all for the augments. So I'm camping out my Shadow Knight for a minute. I'm camping out my shaman. Inviting a friend's shaman. Also putting a campfire down in here. I'll explain why that in just a moment.
Changing in 3 seconds.
Yeah, they're not, now my Gina triggers are on. So, Playful, which I just invited and is now in the group, is a friend of mine, shaman, that I'm helping out with getting AAs. She's been sitting in the guild lobby right now since, about 13 hours ago. This will be her, I believe, 8th mission that she's gotten credit for, all on the same lesson. So basically what I do is I put her there, I complete it, I set down a campfire, I bring her in with the campfire after I've opened the chest, she gets her credit, I gate her straight back to the lobby so her timer doesn't go down on the lesson. Here a little bit later on today, I'll take her to a regular zone where I'm just killing stuff with her lesson still up. Like I said, right now I think this is like her 7th or 8th mission, and I think she has, I'm looking now to be sure, she still has 28 minutes on her lesson at the moment. So, yeah, you can drag that thing out if you want to. So let me invite my other 2 tunes. I have a chanter and a wizard that I invite in because I want to get them the augments. They're both somewhat gimpy, low on AAs and all that, but they slowly add up. One of the other things I do, which I'll point out here in just a moment, a friend of mine mentioned this the other day, and I did confirm it does work. Chanters have a ability, or have a spell called Learner's Aura. There it is, which gives a 5% boost to experience gains. Most chanters don't really use it anymore, and this has been around a long time. I think it's a level 70 spell, 76. It's been around a long time. And they've got auras that help a lot with DPS, that debuff mobs, things like that. So they don't often use Learner's Aura anymore. But I discovered if you turn it on when you're opening the chest, it does impact the experience you get as you open the chest. So I first noticed it and was like, oh, that's cool. During a double experience weekend, Labor Day weekend actually, with a lesson burning, and instead of the 96 AAs that I had been getting, it was 96. One of my tunes got over 100, and that's what caught my eye. Wait, I got extra. And someone had mentioned it, but so I had it on, but then didn't really think about it until suddenly I noticed that. So it does definitely work. I think if you're not running a lesson or any double experience stuff, it's only one extra AA and maybe not even a full AA. I haven't looked at the actual percentages gained, but you know, every little bit adds up. So why not have a chanter there that's got that lesson of Learner's Aura on as you open the chest. That's if you have a chanter in the group or available to join. If you don't worry about it. I mean, don't spend hours trying to find yourself a chanter. So I'm going to open the chest, and then we'll see all those cheeses pop up on the screen. Task complete.
You got the brutal efficiency achievement. You are awesome. You got the hiding in plain sight achievement. You are awesome. You got the no poke achievement. You are awesome.
And as I am assuming you can hear, according to the guy who does my guild's Gina triggers, you are awesome because you got each of those achieves. It's not difficult to do it that way. I struggled with auto following and things like that for quite a while on getting this, like kind of worked out this method. It's easy as far as I'm concerned. It's actually going to be easier for a rare change to do that with a tank that is a mercenary, unless you've got a high DPS group. Because like when I've done it with groups where we were going for it, we had a normal tank. We did kind of like I did, slow burn to begin with. Sometimes the chicken shows up first and stuns people. Sometimes the beetle shows up first and puts out a aura. But you do slow burn until that first aura comes up, or until the first chicken comes up, whichever comes first. And then as soon as that happens, then you go max burn and you get it dead long before you get another aura. So either way, it's not that hard if you do it that way, or it's certainly doable as a one-man operation if you do it on your own. Did I get any gear that I need? Unfortunately, I did not. So, bye-bye chest loot. So anyway, that's how I do it. Have a good day, and feel free to add in the comments or anything. You have any questions, suggestions? If you're saying, what the hell, dude, you're stupid. Why aren't you using XYZ spell, or why are you wasting your mana on ABC spell, or I do this? By all means, add extra suggestions. I'm willing to learn from anybody. And as I suggest people do with this, take what you can from it, and if you can learn from it, if you can apply any of it to what you do, go for it. And if it helps you out, that's great. If you don't like it and you think it's stupid and I've got the worst method ever, then say that in the comments if you want to. I don't care. Move on with your life and enjoy your game the way you like to play it, because that's what we're all here for.